At 66, Robert Smith, the enigmatic frontman of The Cure, remains one of rock's most mysterious figures. Known for his haunting voice, poetic lyrics, and black-clad presence, Smith helped shape generations of alternative and gothic rock. But even legends have heroes. In a rare moment of honesty, Robert Smith finally opened up about the 10 rock albums that changed his life, the records that shaped his sound, inspired his songwriting, and defined his idea of beauty in chaos. Let's dive into the dark, emotional soundtrack of Robert Smith's soul. Hajoni Zero, The Velvet Underground, and Nico, The Velvet Underground Smith often said this 1967 masterpiece opened his eyes to imperfection. Lou Reed and Nico's fragile vocals, the raw sound, and the underground spirit made Smith realize that emotion mattered more than polish. He once said, "It felt like a secret club music for people who didn't fit anywhere else." That sense of alienation became The Cure's emotional blueprint. #9 Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie. Few artists influenced Robert Smith more than David Bowie. The theatricality, androgyny, and dreamlike storytelling of Ziggy Stardust made Smith understand that rock could be art. He later said, "When I first saw Bowie, I thought that's who I want to be when I grow up." Without Bowie's boldness, there might never have been the makeup, the hair, or the unapologetic individuality that became Robert Smith's signature. #height low. David Bowie Smith didn't just love Bowie's glam era, he adored his experimental side. Low taught him that silence and space could be as powerful as sound. Those ambient textures and emotional fragments would later echo in The Cure's Faith and Disintegration. Low was like walking into another dimension, Smith said, its loneliness put to music. #7 Unknown Pleasures, Joy Division. When Unknown Pleasures dropped in 1979, Smith felt both awe and unease. He and Ian Curtis shared the same post-punk universe: minimalism, melancholy, and meaning. Smith admitted, "It scared me how close Joy Division felt to what I was trying to express." The sparse rhythms and icy soundscapes of Joy Division influenced The Cure's darker albums, pushing Smith to explore emotional depth over commercial appeal. #6 The Bends, Radiohead. Though often quiet about modern bands, Smith praised Radiohead's The Bends as one of the most moving records of the 1990 seconds. He admired Thom Yorke's vulnerability and the album's cinematic sound. "The Bends reminded me what honesty in music sounds like," Smith said. "It's fragile and defiant at the same time." The emotional honesty that defines Radiohead mirrored Smith's own lyrical rawness. #5 The Queen is Dead, The Smiths. Despite the obvious comparisons between The Cure and The Smiths, Smith has always respected Morrissey and Johnny Marr's craft. He once admitted, "I can't deny the brilliance of The Queen is Dead. It's too perfect." The jangly guitars, the wit, and the sadness hiding behind smiles all reflected the same duality that defines The Cure's music: beauty and despair. #4 Closer, Joy Division. If Unknown Pleasures was revelation, Closer was devastation. Smith called it the most painfully honest record ever made. The haunting production and Curtis's descent into despair resonated deeply with him during 17 Seconds and Faith. He once said, "Closer wasn't just an album, it was a warning, and I understood it too well." #3 The Top, The Cure. Yes, one of his own. Smith has never been shy about self-criticism, but he considers The Top one of the boldest things he ever did. "I was falling apart, but the music was honest," he said. "Listening back, I hear someone trying to survive." It's rare for artists to name their own work, but for Smith, The Top represents a time when chaos and creativity became one. #2 Horses, Patti Smith. Robert Smith calls Patti Smith the godmother of emotion. Her 1975 debut, Horses, taught him that vulnerability was strength. He once said, "Patti made me believe that poetry and rock could be the same thing." The raw energy of Gloria and Land inspired Smith's early songwriting: urgent, defiant, and deeply human. Disintegration, The Cure. And finally, the album closest to his heart. Smith calls Disintegration the album that saved me. Released in 1989, it was his way of confronting time, love, and loss. He said, "When I finished it, I finally understood everything I wanted The Cure to be." For Robert Smith, Disintegration isn't just his best work, it's the culmination of every album, artist, and heartbreak that came before. From Bowie's Stardust Dreams to Joy Division's Shadows, Robert Smith's favorite albums reveal not just his taste but his soul. These are the sounds that built The Cure's universe: beauty, pain, hope, and heartbreak intertwined. Which of these albums is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden stories behind rock's most fascinating legends.